It's Andrea from WellAndrea, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about how to build a sustainable workout and movement practice for the entire year. And I actually think it all starts with movement. I think it starts with adding movement to every day throughout the day. Not only a workout for 30, 45, 60, 90 minutes or whatever it may be, but really moving throughout every day and breaking up long periods of sitting or being still in one position. And last year, in January 2025, I started my Add a Movement to Your Day series. And so basically, I encouraged you to find one movement that you can do throughout the day during your movement breaks. And I encourage everyone to get up and move every 30 to 60 minutes. That's an ideal. It doesn't happen every day. That doesn't happen every hour or every 30 minutes, but I think it's a good goal to have. And I usually I do my mobility practice during the first couple movement breaks of the day. So I do one joint at a time, either starting up at my neck or at my ankle joint, and then moving either up or down my body. And then the rest of the movement breaks, I now always choose one movement. So it could be jumping jacks, it could be squats, it could be really anything. And I do that movement throughout the day, and the next day I choose a different movement. In 2026, I added something, and I added starting every day with 5 minutes of movement. And this really came from a couple of years ago. I really worked on my feet because I had a very bad ankle injury when I was 16. I had surgery. That surgery wasn't very successful. It was also outdated. And really, that injury led to decades of pain and problems in my foot, in my ankle, in my knees, hips. It really moved all the way up the chain. And so a few years ago, I started really working on my feet, on my toes, on my ankles, on mobility, on all sorts of things. And so I started every day in my kitchen in the morning while I was making coffee and breakfast. I would work on my feet for 5 to 10 minutes. And I also did these movements throughout the day, but it really was essential to do it first thing in the morning. And it had a huge impact, and it really helped me a lot. So I thought we can all start the day with 5 minutes of movement, and it can be anything. It could be if you want to work on your feet. My husband is doing this right now. He's doing 5 minutes every morning to work on his feet because he has some plantar fasciitis issues, and when he is not consistent with his foot exercises, he really feels it. So doing it first thing in the morning has been really helpful for him. But it could be stretches, it could be, a very short yoga practice, it could be some Pilates moves, it could be some core work. It really could be anything, but I think starting the day with movement is starting the day off right. And then, again, as I said, I suggest movement breaks every 30 to 60 minutes throughout the day. I think it makes a huge difference in how you will feel. I have shared this many times before when I've always worked out. So I have always, done a 60-minute workout almost every day, usually at 5 or 6 a.m. But I also sat for the rest of the day, most days, for many, many, many years. So, the older I get, the more I would feel that, the stiffer I would get. I had little aches and pains in my back, in my shoulders, in my neck, in my legs. And since I incorporated movement breaks into my days, I honestly do not have these aches and pains anymore. And I think movement is so important to how we feel, how our body feels, to release tension, to make sure there aren't imbalances and things like that. But also, your movement breaks, you can actually use them to get some real things done that are really, really good for your body. So, as I said, you can do your mobility practice one joint at a time. You can also, if you can make your movement breaks a little bit longer, for example, if you work from home, you could do some weightlifting, right? You could do, for example, some bicep curls during a movement break. So you can do some tricep extensions during a movement break. You could do body weight exercises, right? Like squats. You can also do squats with weights, like a goblet squat where you hold a weight in front of you. You could do push-ups. You can do so many exercises. I would always make sure you are warmed up a little bit. So if you are going to do some lifting of weights, take a minute or so at least to get warmed up first. So your movement break again would be a little bit longer, maybe 5 minutes or maybe 7 minutes. But if you add a couple of those in your day, you can actually accumulate quite a few minutes of workout time and things that really make a difference, right? Things that make you feel better, that build some muscle, and so on. Now, you also may want, or probably should, have some more formal workouts, right? Like a gym workout, like maybe a lifting session at the gym. Maybe you have some runs, maybe you're a runner, things like that. And of course, schedule those. And I think when you're scheduling your workouts, and again, I think the movement breaks come first. So make sure you have a good plan how to do the movement breaks, and then schedule the workouts. And when you're scheduling the workouts, I would say be realistic and have backup plans. So for example, I like to lift weights 4 days a week. And my split right now is 2 upper body workouts, 2 lower body workouts. And that works really well right now. But when things get busy, when life gets busy, I will combine them into 2 full body workouts. I may not hit every muscle group as many times. In fact, I know I won't. But 2 full body weightlifting sessions, you can accomplish a lot. If you really look at, okay, I'm going to hit all the major muscle groups, and you think about that, and you let go of the smaller lifts maybe that are beneficial and you should do when you have time, but that you do not necessarily need to do. So for example, if you bench press, you do not necessarily need to do bicep curls, right? It's nice to do them, but for the sake of time, maybe that's what you don't do. And then when you have time, you can go back to those. So, and so I think the important thing, and I think what makes the biggest difference, is getting away from the all or nothing thinking. And I think if movement throughout the day is the foundation of your movement and exercise practice, it becomes much easier to manage a missed gym workout, for example, right? Because you can actually use your movement breaks to do some of the movements that you would have done at the gym, right? You can do some body weight exercises. If you have some weights at home, you can do some of those. And also really realizing that the movement throughout the day is really oftentimes what will affect you most in terms of how you will feel. As I said before, when I worked out for an hour every day, I didn't feel great because I didn't move enough throughout the day. I hardly moved at all. So when I move throughout the day, I feel great. And so I want to encourage you to focus on movement, to focus on how you feel, and be flexible. Make a plan that's realistic, that fits your schedule, that fits your life, that fits, where you have to go at what time. I really question at this point in my life the benefit of a workout where I have to fight traffic to get there, and I'm completely stressed out by the time I have arrived and parked and everything, right? It could be a great workout, but to me now, at this stage in life, I'm like, oh, it's probably not worth it, right? I can probably do something else. All right. I hope you'll have a wonderful 2026. I hope you're going to move as much as you can to feel the best you can. I hope you're going to start your days with movement. I hope you're going to move every 30 to 60 minutes. And I hope you are going to add other exercises as they work for you and make you feel great. Have a great day and always keep moving. Bye now.